day everyone. So today, me and my group mates will be going to report about the global migration, the two types of migration, causes of migration, and the benefits and detriments of migration, both on the source area and on the receiving area. So I will be the first reporter, Robert V. Sagaral, and I will be going to report about global migration and the two types of migration. So, what is global migration? So, global migration is a situation in which people go to live in foreign countries, especially in order to find work. So, when we say global, it means a worldwide, international. So, for example, you're living in the Philippines and then you decided to go to other countries like USA in order to find work. Kaya syempre, there is Pilipinas, gamay sweldo, katrabaho ka sa teacher, then imong sweldo is let's say 20 plus a month, 20K a month, and then in the US your salary is 50 plus a month. So syempre mo balin juga dito kay dakog sweldo. So mao to global migration. Most global migration is from developing countries to developed ones. So, developing countries often have lower GDP per capita, weaker infrastructure, and a lower standard of living. Additionally, developing countries have less industrialization, weaker economies, and lower levels of economic growth. Underdeveloped infrastructure, including limited access to transportation, communication, and energy systems. Lower quality of life, limited access to healthcare, education, and social services may experience political instability, corruption, and weak governance, and lower HDI indicating lower levels of health, education, and living standards. Whereas ang developed countries, they generally have high GDP per capita, advanced infrastructure, strong economies, and high standards of living. Developed countries have also high levels of industrialization, strong economic growth, and a diverse economy. Advanced technological infrastructure, including transportation, communication, and energy systems. High quality of life, access to healthcare, education, and social services. Generally have stable and democratic governments, strong rule of law, and low levels of corruption, and high human development index, indicating high levels of health, education, and living standards. So those are the characteristics of the developing countries and the developed countries. So, if you're living in a developing countries, syempre ganahan ka mo ato sa developed countries kay mas maayo ang imong kinabuhi dito sa developed countries kaysa dira sa imong gipuy-an nga ga-develop pa, padulong pa mag-develop. Migration. So, migration is the movement of people away from their usual place of residence to a new place of residence, either across an international border or within a state. So, sabotable naman kaayo no, across an international border. So ako taga Philippines ko moadto og US or within a state. So within the Philippines ra ka nibalhin, for example taga Cebu ko, mabalhin ko sa Negros, muna siya within the state. Pareha na silang migration. So there are two types of migration, internal and international migration. So internal migration refers to people moving from one area to another within one country. So example, ang iyon ganiha, taga Cebu ko, mabalhin ko Negros, o mabalhin ba ko sa Manila, sa Mindanao, basta within sa Philippines ra, within one country, mo siya internal migration. On the other hand, international migration, in which people cross borders of one country to another. So, taga Philippines ko, mabalhin ko sa US, sa Europe, sa China. For example, taga Japan ko, mabalhin ko diri sa Pilipinas, ana sa China, muna siya international migration. So that's all and thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. So, I'm General Salcedo, the reporter of Group 7. So, today I will tackle about the causes of migration. first is the causes of migration is disparity in levels of income. So when you say disparity, it's the difference of salary between the local employment compared to the international employment. So the reason people migrate to another country for the salary, because another country offers much bigger salaries compared to the when you, what you say, Philippines. So in the Philippines the salary is very low but the standards is very high. So next is the employment. So the employment is the one of the reasons why many people choose to migrate to another country to find a job, and a stable job that is reasonable, and it cares for their employees, not just giving high salaries but also care for the employees. No high standards requirements, no unnecessary requirements. So next is the social well-being. So many people migrate to another countries because for the growth of social integration, but many opportunities and development of new skills. So migration to another country offers new opportunities, new environment to grow for people, and to discover new skills and ways to improve yourself. Next is the difference in demographic patterns with regard to fertility, mortality, age structure, and labor force growth. So I can so developing countries have low material which is a high mortality rate. So the developing countries is, you can say that the sanitation is not that good, the healthcare is not that good, the another um, other needs is not given for free. And meanwhile on other countries, example is the Switzerland, which offers free healthcare, free education, and free hospitalization to their citizens. So the next is the age structure. So the fertility rate and the mortality rate in developing countries are high. So the example is the teenage pregnancy. So our countries is high in teenage pregnancy because of lack of knowledge about sex education. So people here in the Philippines is not open-minded in sex education, and rather go for teenage pregnancy than to be safer and to be ready for the responsibilities to build a family. So next is the labor force growth. So the labor force growth, which is can be seen to the developed countries in example is the United States. So the United States are, the economic growth is very excellent, and you can say that the United States, there are many opportunities than the Philippines. So if you have given a chance to choose, I know you will choose the United States over the Philippines in terms of salary, employment, healthcare, and education. So I think that's the reason why many people choose to migrate rather than to stay here, because of the opportunities, and well-being of individuals. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Good day, Sir Consing. This is Zanaya Claire C. Silot, third year from Section Delta, and I am one of the members of Group 7, and we are tasked to report the global migration. And my assigned topic under global migration is the benefits and detriments of migration on the source area. First is, let me define what is migration. So migration is the movement of people from their usual place of residence to a new place of residence, either across an international border or within a state. And the meaning of the phrase on the source area is it is a place where the migrants came from, or from where they are originated, or from where they originated. I will discuss first the positive side and the benefits of migration on the source area, or the place where the migrants came from. So the first positive side of migration is that it promotes less pressure on job opportunities and resources. For example, in the Philippines, where there is a high rate of unemployment and overcrowding, through migration, it definitely reduces the competition for jobs, housing, and public services. As a result, people from the Philippines will no longer compete for job opportunities, and there is a proper allocation of housing and public services. In continuation, the second positive side of migration on the source area is remittances. So people often migrate in search of better income opportunities and earned wages and send money back home to support their families. Families who receive remittances may invest in education, businesses, in which it creates job opportunities for localities, and etc., which can reduce the need for future migration. Also, when they send money back home, often in stronger foreign currencies like US dollar, euro, or pound, when these remittances enter the home country's banking system, they increase the supply of foreign currency. So, those are some benefits of migration. Now let's move on to the negative impacts or the detriments of migration. So the first one is brain drain. So skilled workers, professionals, educated individuals often migrate for better job opportunities, leaving the source area or the place where they came from with a shortage of talent and may slow down economic growth. Next is labor shortage. If many workers move abroad, industries on the source area like agriculture and construction might struggle to find enough labor. Next is dependency risks on remittances. So some families may rely too heavily on remittances instead of developing local income sources. Lastly is the population decreases and cultural shifts. As people live, traditions and cultural practices may weaken, particularly those communities that are dependent on intergenerational knowledge and customs. So those are the negative impacts and detriments of migration on the source area.
Good morning, sir. My name is Kevin Molano, and I'm from Group 7. Our topic is all about global migration, and my assigned topic is all about on the receiving area. So there are also a positive and negative impacts. So let's talk about the positive impacts first. So first is a readily available labor force. It means that we all know that people migrate because of employment or job opportunities or because of their income, and most of the people migrate has a profession or has an expertise. When a person migrates on a place, the labor force will be increases. So if dagan ang employee, mas dali ang trabaho. So number two, new skills are introduced into the labor force. It means, so mo to siya, we all know that people migrate because of job opportunities and for the income. So all my all migrated individuals has their expertise of their jobs or professions. So next is creation of multicultural society. So first, what is multicultural society? Multicultural society is characterized by the consistent and interaction of diverse ethnic and cultural group within a single society. So we all know that if we migrate, there if we migrate in the other place, there is a culture, and that is not the same as ours. So we have to adapt their cultures to maintain or foster a sense of respect and understanding between different cultural groups. So next is the negative impact. So number one is growth in the population. So that is very understandable. So let's proceed to the next. Increase pressure on resource and social service. So example, health service and schools to provide for new immigrants. So we all know that if we migrate for example, in the US, so US needs to increase the resources to provide the needs of the migrants or of their people. They need to double their supplies. Next is social resentment or prejudice towards the newly arrived. So first, what is social resentment or prejudice? Social resentment is a feeling of anger, bitterness, or animosity towards specific groups, often based on perceived unfairness or inequality. Prejudice, on the other hand, is a preconceived opinion, usually unfavorable, formed without sufficient knowledge or experience, and can be direct towards individual or group. So there will be a unfair treatment. So like for example, katong dito sa US, like naay Pinoy nga maglakaw sa kalsada, then sumbagon ragalit sa mga Americans. So that is an unfair treatment kay, or like i-discriminate ang mga migrants. So that is all my topic, sir.